Stephen Jones, Dak's deal must be team-friendly. Kevin Patra, NFL Network with DeMarcus Lawrence's contract situation resolved. Dak Prescott likely becomes the next candidate for a big extension, as the franchise quarterback's rookie deal is up after the 2019 season. On Tuesday, Stephen Jones spoke about the need for Prescott's next contract to be team-friendly. At the same time, and I know Dak wants this, you want a supporting cast, Jones said, via the Dallas Morning News. That's the way to go down as being one of the great quarterbacks to ever play the game, win championships. There's been a lot of good players who won a lot of games and have good stats, but if you don't have championships, certainly there's an empty feeling there. I know Dak. His number one goal here is to win Super Bowl championships. He's a winner, he's a leader. I just feel good that we'll find our way to a place that the contract enables us to surround him with a great supporting cast, which a lot of it's in place. If you look at our offensive line, look at our receiving core, you look at Zeke, a lot of it's there. Obviously with Jason Witten coming back and some young tight ends, certainly that's a nice spot for us, too. So we've just gotta keep building on that and be able to fit Dak in. 5 things from DeMarcus Lawrence signing and his goal of going from highest paid to half. Clarence Hill Jr., Star-Telegram. The news broke last Friday that DeMarcus Lawrence had agreed to a contract extension, but on Tuesday the contract was officially signed. In a press conference announcing the new deal, Lawrence had a lot to say about his new contract and more. I have so many emotions going on right now, said Lawrence, who was joined by his fiancée, son, parents, and agent. It's hard for me to take it in. I'm just blessed to be in this position in my life, throughout all my surgeries, throughout all the highs and lows of my life. It's just humbling to be in this position, and thank God for everything He has put me through. Going through the back surgeries and stuff, I thought my career was over. Before I even made a couple of sacks, I thought I would never see this day. I am blessed just to be here, let alone just taking it all in. It's a lot. The contract is a big accomplishment, but my goal is still to have a gold jacket. That's what I'm hitting on. I'm so honored just to be a Cowboy and to be able to do it here. I've got a lot of work to keep doing. I'm just in my moment right now, so y'all got to excuse me. This is very special to me. But I've just got to keep building on my resume. DeMarcus Lawrence gives timetable on surgery at Pro Football Doc. One of the reasons the Cowboys were in such a rush to sign DeMarcus Lawrence to a long-term deal was because the pass rusher was waiting for a contract before getting surgery. Now that the ink is dry on the deal, Lawrence will get his surgery, with a promise to be ready to play by the start of the regular season. Cowboys release 2019 preseason schedule. Fox 4 News. The NFL released their full preseason schedule on Tuesday, giving fans a look at the earlier matchups before the regular season begins. While it may not be as exciting or impactful as the regular season, the Cowboys' preseason schedule does include an opportunity for revenge on the last game they played last season. The team will then travel to Hawaii for a 9 p.m. game against the LA Rams on August 17. It will be the NFL's first exhibition game at Aloha Stadium since 1976, when the 49ers faced the Chargers. The game in Hawaii will also be Dallas' first game outside the continental United States in 18 years. Jerry Jones in Minneapolis discussing future CBA. Kevin Patra, NFL Network. When the Cowboys met Tuesday for their press conference on DeMarcus Lawrence's new contract, Jerry Jones was not present. It turns out that was because the owner is in Minneapolis for preliminary talks on the NFL's new collective bargaining agreement. Today, the members of the NFL's Management Council and the NFLPA's Executive Committee met to discuss negotiations for a new collective bargaining agreement, the league and players' union said in a joint statement. The league and the union have committed to meet regularly in the coming months, which will involve staff, NFL leadership, members of the NFLPA Executive Committee and player representatives. The current CBA, signed in 2011, is set to expire after the 2020 campaign. With just 2 more seasons until that expiration, sides are attempting to get a jump on negotiations and avoid a potential work stoppage. Cowboys draft, reviewing Dane Brugler's 7-round NFL mock draft. John Williams, inside the star with free agency more or less over at this point, and the DeMarcus Lawrence extension resolved, the Cowboys can shift all of their focus on the draft, coming at the end of the month. On Tuesday, Dane Brugler of The Athletic released his latest 7-round mock draft for the Cowboys. You know Bryce Love as the Heisman finalist who ran for more than 2,000 yards his junior season. Unfortunately, his college career ended tragically as he tore his ACL in the last game of the season last December. The Dallas Cowboys currently only have Ezekiel Elliott, Jamize Olawale, and Darius Jackson on the roster. If they plan to extend Ezekiel Elliott long-term, the front office needs to give him some help. Though Bryce Love's numbers dropped considerably from his junior to senior season, he's still a dynamic back who could help spell the NFL's leading rusher. Any projection of Love will have to take his ACL injury into account. Though Love could offer a dynamic ability, at this point in the draft, I'd rather see the Cowboys get a player who should be ready to help them week 1 like Justice Hill from Oklahoma State or Rodney Anderson from Oklahoma. Film room, grading 3 Cowboys pre-draft visitors, including a depth piece at DT and possible second-round safety. John Owning, Sports Day Dallas. Part of the challenge of not having a first-round pick for Cowboys fans is that the list of possible names that could be taken is so long and varied. Looking at the Cowboys' pre-draft visitors gives a good idea, and John Owning has taken a look at 3 of those visitors who could end up becoming Cowboys later this month. Measuring 6 feet 202 pounds, Juan Thornhill is one of, if not the most versatile safeties in this year's draft, displaying impressive coverage ability around the box and when aligned deep, which is why he registered 20 passes defended and 9 interceptions in his 4 years at Virginia, according to Pro Football Focus. Quarterbacks failed to complete more than 46% of their passes targeting Thornhill over his last 2 seasons as a Cavalier, according to PFF. When surveying the deep zones in single high cover, 1/3, or split safety cover 2/4 coverage, Thornhill displays good range, showing the ability to cover impressive distances to effect passes from the deep middle. This is important because it enables him to A. condense the holes between zones in zone coverage, and B. provide a safety net over the top of the other defensive backs in man coverage. Tweet of the day: various Cowboys were on hand to witness what in all likelihood was Dirk Nowitzki's final game in Dallas. Kudos.